Hare Krishna. So, I would like to welcome all of you who's being able to find some time and gathered over here in a very important meeting. This is a very important meeting, am I right? Meeting together and try to discuss about Krishna is the most important meeting which we could have throughout our life. So you're very fortunate to be here. So thank you so much. So today we'll take the privilege, we would like to discuss upon Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, 3rd chapter, text number, I believe 6 and 7. This is what I was told, huh? Is it okay? I was told to take 2 verses. When I asked the question, the verse has got purport. Why 2 verses? And she said, I don't want you to just talk about negative. I want you to talk about positive as well. Because one slok talks about negative aspect of. And the second slok would talk about something positive. So Mataji was very, very specific. And she really wanted that, Prabhu, we should be having something positive. So, keep it in mind, whatever verse is in the Bhagavad-Gita, all the verses has to talk about something which is positive. There's 2 ways to look upon. In Krishna consciousness, there's do's and don't. So whether do's and don't, all of them lead the same destination. It's depend upon the preacher, the leader, how they present the topic. So, would like to request everyone to chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading from Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 3, text number 6 and 7, entitled Karma Yoga. Should I request for something with your respect? If you could come closer. With your respect, if you need a fan. I believe in Sangha. I believe in what? I believe in Sangha. If someone is sitting in 1 kilometer, I'm not able to connect with that person. I believe in that aspect. Wherever normally I deliver lecture as a service. So I would normally feel I need to have an eyes contact. I need to see your facial impression. While seeing you so jubilant, so blissful, I become blissful. So that's one of the catching point. So we get into the verse. Now what do? We read both verse and then we go ahead. What do we do now? 2 verse. We read both and then we go for word meaning and the translation. How do we go? I'll read the verse and then you people read. This is how you go. The time is already up. Karmendriyani samyamya yaste manasa smaran indriyarthan vinudhatma मिथ्याचरः स उच्यते यः तु इन्द्रियाणि मनसा नियम्य रम्भते अर्जुन Karmendriyair karmayogam asaktaha sa visishyate. The word forward meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Abhay Charan Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Please repeat after me. Karma Indriyani, the 5 working sense organs. Samyamya, controlling. Nyaha, anyone who. Aste, remain. Manasa, by the mind. Smaran, thinking of. Indriya Arthan, sense objects. Vimudha, foolish. Atma, soul. Mithya Acharaha, pretender. Saha, he. Uchyate, is called. Okay, the word forward meaning of text 7, and then we'll read translation and purport at the same time. Yaha, one who. Two, but. Indriyani, the senses. Manasa, by the mind. Niyamya, regulating. Arabhate, begins. Arjuna, O Arjun. Karma Indriyair, by the active sense organ. Karma Yoga, devotion. Asaktaha, without attachment. Saha, he. Visishyate, is by far the better. Translation of text number 6, the purport. One who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on sense object, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. Purport. There are many pretenders who refuse to work in Krishna consciousness, but make a show of meditation, while actually dwelling within the mind upon sense enjoyment. Such pretender may also speak on dry philosophy in order to bluff sophisticated followers. But according to this verse, these are the greatest cheaters. For sense enjoyment, one can act in any capacity of the social order, but if one follow the rules and regulations of his particular status, he can make gradual progress in purifying his existence. But he who makes a show of being a yogi while actually searching for the object of sense gratification must be called the greatest cheater, even though he sometimes speaks of philosophy. His knowledge has no value, because the effect of such a sinful man's knowledge are taken away by the illusory energy of the Lord. Such a pretender's mind is always impure, and therefore his show of yogic meditation has no value whatsoever. Text number 7. On the other hand, if a sincere person try to control the active senses by the mind and begin karma yoga in Krishna consciousness without attachment, he is by far superior. Purport. Instead of becoming a pseudo-transcendentalist for the sake of wanton living and sense enjoyment, it is far better to remain in one's own business and execute the purpose of life, which is to get free from the material bondage and enter into the kingdom of God. The prime Swarthagati, or the goal of self-interest, is to reach Vishnu. The whole institutions of Varna and Ashram is designed to help us reach this goal of life. A householder can also reach this destination by regulated service in Krishna consciousness. For self-realization, one can live a controlled life as prescribed in the Shastra and continue carrying out his business without attachment, and in that way make progress. A sincere person who follows this method is far better situated than the false pretender who adopt showboatal spiritualism to cheat the innocent people. A sincere sweeper in the street is far better than a charlatan meditator who meditates only for the sake of making a living. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Militam Jenam Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tudati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuda Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamcha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchan Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwabhanu Sute Deve Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivastadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. The whole Bhagavad-Gita, you would find there's four persons who's interacting. You have Krishna, Arjuna, and then you have Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya. The whole Bhagavad-Gita has been spoken just only, full stop, just to get Arjuna stand up and fight. Am I right? Something like that? So Krishna, he uses many techniques in Bhagavad-Gita. Sometimes he will tell Arjuna, Asokyam and Vasochastam Pragyavadam Chabasase, you're talking like a learned Pandita, but you're fool number one. Arjuna said, my God. So, Krishna somehow others, seated in every living entity's heart as Paramatma, he knows more than earth. He knows more than earth what are we looking for. So in one sense, there is no question of cheating Krishna. There is no question of cheating Krishna. Prabhupada mentioned elsewhere in the purport, he says, because Krishna is the biggest cheater, so that's why we can't cheat him. Prabhupada says, because the rascaldom is to be found in Krishna, that's why whatever rascal we could be, we can't cheat Krishna. So then here, when Krishna is telling Arjuna in a different perspective, different angle, somehow there's holding the ear, passing the hand from the back side or front side, but just to get Arjuna into Come on, stand up and do whatever you have to do. So, the living entities having this deeply rooted within the heart of the living entities of not serving Krishna, deeply rooted since time immemorial. Prabhupada says it's just out of question to recollect when was that time when we become against Krishna. And Prabhupada used to give the example, if there is fire somewhere, I mean in the house which we are living in, so don't try to figure out the fire has catch up because of the ignitions of the wire, or the matchbox, or the gas cylinder, or whatever. What you got to do, just get out first, save yourself, and then later on you could figure out what's happening. So in this material world, we are here since time immemorial. And Krishna is trying so many ways, and just to get us into the active participation in Krishna consciousness. Krishna, he loves us more than us. Could you believe it? Krishna spoke to Arjuna, gave Arjuna all the different options. If you can't do like this, you do like this. Or that's also not, if you can't do, but do it in this way, in that way, twist it up, whatever you do. Just try to do something. Because, if you see the last verse, because living entities, they can't even stay for 1 second or fraction of a second without doing anything. So you got to do something. So if the living entities has to do something, so then he should do something which is going to be beneficiary for the living entities. So Krishna, if you reflect upon the verse today, Krishna is saying the one, restrain the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on the sense object certainly delude himself and is called a pretender. We got to be what we are. We got to be what we are. If we can't practice Krishna consciousness, then what we got to do, we got to dive in and cry that we are not able to practice Krishna consciousness. What we got to do? We got to dive in. If we don't know how to cry, then we need to cry in order to cry so we can practice Krishna consciousness. So the whole process is, we got to try. Isn't it? Ekaki amai nahi pai bal. I have got no strength whatsoever. Do we have a strength? In front of Maya Devi, Daivi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya. So strong. How would we be able to fight? No question. So Prabhupada used to give the example, if someone wanted to go and see the doctor, and somehow that the doctor lives somewhere, and the doctor is a clinic, house come clinic, and then you have to meet the doctor in order to get cured, and then you reach the doctor place, and then finally figure out there's a big wall or fence or whatever, and you need to penetrate in. You need to get in, and standing on just on the door, you would find there's a big dog. There's a big what? And Doberman dog, the big one. And here you go. You got to go and see the doctor. And the Doberman dog is just walking around the courtyard. And, look at you, and say, come over. I'm hungry for many days. And what would you do? Oh my. So then, there's many possibility. But one of the possibility which has been cited by the Acharya, what you got to do, you got to call out the doctor. Dr. Gupta, or whatever doctor is. Gupta ji, whatever it is. Dr. Gupta, please, 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 whatever it is. And then what happened? When the doctor would come out, you would find the dog, because the doctor is a master. And the dog will become so friendly, unbelievable, start moving the tail. And then when the doctor says, sit down here. And the dog will just move, shake the tail and sit down, saying that, okay, you got a chance, you better get in. So similar way, when we cry out every day without fail, the same time, the same place, and then before we start crying out, what's the crying is all about? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And that's basically the cry. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj explained about it. He says there's no question without crying we could achieve love of Godhead. Gaur Govinda Swami, he explained very nicely in one of the lecture. He said, Baba rone se. He says what? I think everyone understands Hindi, but the one who's hearing with the earphone, I'm sure, it's just by crying. And which kind of crying it is? The genuine crying of a child. Now the mother knows exactly. When the child, sometimes they will be naughty, they would cry out like fake crying. Oh, but there will be no tear. And the mom knows. Yeah, no tanki abhi. He's just making a drama. But when the child starts crying and shedding tear like torrents of rain, the mom will quit whatever it is, making roti or whatever it is, dirty hand, will run and pick up the child and does whatever it is, business, breastfeeding, or whatsoever. So when we start crying genuine crying, what does that mean? When you chant the holy name of the Lord, you start feeling the presence of Krishna. I'm sure all of you must have experienced that. I'm still on the way, long way to go. But unless we don't reach, and then how do we develop that? Genuine crying. How do we develop that chanting, intensify chanting? How do we do that? Then Chanakya Pandit came in between. He said, you want to do? You want to chant like this? Then what you got to do, what you got to insert in your mind, that this is the last round you're chanting. What did he say? The last round. Okay, you got to know someone, one astrologer say, well, I'm sorry, dear sir, whatever, devotee, Mr. Bhakta, Joe, shuddhbhakti.com, whatever you are. This is the last round, and then you're over. How would you chant? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Really getting into it. And if someone wanted to talk to you, say, Prabhu, Mataji, you know what? Please, don't do that. You would not even for a single person trying to divert your attention somewhere else. Am I right? Yes. And this is a chanting we got to do every day. And Chanakya Pandit says, why? What's the reason behind? Because the time which is going out can't be brought back with millions, not even million, but the whole world asset. Would we be able to get the time back? Yes, no? No. So then, it's very wonderfully. I say, well, why do we need to be pretender? We need not to be pretender. We need to portray ourselves the way we are. If I'm 15% devotee, then I exhibit 50%. Why do they do all the show, shaking the head and so forth? Sometimes they put the finger in the eyes and the tear flow down and they show people, well, there's many like this. Pretender. So then, Krishna knows in and out. And Krishna says, what is the point to be a pretender? What would you get? Now we reflect upon the purport. The Prabhupada is mentioning very beautiful point. There are many pretenders who refuse to work in Krishna consciousness but make a show of meditation, while actually dwelling within the mind upon sense enjoyment. Each sadhaka must dive in to see whether we are making suitable or tangible progress in Krishna consciousness. If we are not doing that, then we are nowhere. We need to dive in. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, shed some light into it. It says, when sadhaka, you can check ourselves, if our material desire is increasing day by day. While sitting for prasad, 2 chapati I normally used to eat, and then I look for the third one because there's paneer sabji and whatever sabji which I like. That's mean there's something somewhere wrong. And this is how the mind works. The mind will say, Baba, yesterday you didn't get prasad, did you? No, you didn't get prasad yesterday. So today what you got to do? You got to double the dose. And this is how the mind works. The mind will give you a Krishna conscious reason how not to be Krishna conscious. I'll repeat it again. The mind will give you a Krishna conscious, so-called Krishna conscious reason not to be Krishna conscious. This is how the mind works. That's why when Krishna was telling, when Arjuna was telling, both friends were telling each other that, you better fix your mind on me. Man mana bhava mad bhakta majjajimam namaskuru. Arjuna said, Krishna, you know what? You sound very good. But you know the mind? Shall I explain to you how the mind functions? Chanchalahi mana Krishna pramati balavadriham tasyaham nigraham manye vayuriva sudushkaram. This is the mind is so strong, obstinate. Whenever we try to control over the mind just slip and run away and make fool out of us. Isn't it that time you're determined to do something is a time Maya penetrates in? When you go to bed, you put your alarm. Tomorrow I'll get up 3 o'clock. And this is the day you get up by 5 o'clock. This is how the mind works. Oh, once upon a time what happened? Anyway, time flies. Time and tide wait for none. Anyhow. So once there was a king. There was who? Singh nahi, king. There was a what? A king. Singh is king, so both is there. So the king, what happened? He was just watching out the window. He was just standing on the balcony, and he saw there was a goat, bakri. He saw a goat. Oh wow! And the goat was eating. So he went for his whatever work. He's a king. He went and then came back in the lunchtime. He saw the goat still eating. He said, "My God." He went again for his business, whatever it is. In the evening, he came, he saw the goat still eating. He said, "Hey, come on, you're being blessed. Me, the king, I can't eat all the time, but you are eating." So the king, early days, the king used to play, some play, inspire people, his citizen. So he just cracked a joke. Not a joke, but just he just spread the news all over to the citizen. He said, anyone among our citizen, if they are able to feed that goat, I'll give them a gift. Is it clear what I said? Yeah. If anyone is able to feed the goat to the satisfaction, and they will be checking. If the goat doesn't eat anymore, that person will be given a gift. Oh my God, everyone toot pada. And everyone was trying. Just take the goat and went to the jungles and, beta khale beta. Just eat, come on. And throughout the day, they just fed the goat, and then goat were brought back to the king palace, and the king just offered little grass, and the goat was eating. And so happened 10, 100, thousands and lakhs of them tried, everyone failed. And the king says, "Oh, I don't have any intelligent citizen in my kingdom." But the minister was standing there. Minister said, "Well, I'm also one of your citizens. Should I give a trial?" I say, "Yeah, go ahead." But this time it was a different experience for the goat. The minister carried one stick in his hand. The goat was thinking within the mind, maybe to chase out the other goat and let me eat. Okay, fine. Was very happy, singing the song, Jolie song. And then reached over there, the place, and the moment the goat was about to eat, and he was bitten very badly. Wow! And the goat said, he might have done it mistakenly. So he continued. And again, whatever time, one, twice, thrice, 1 dozen times, 100 times, the goat tried, and then he was beaten very severely. And that inserted his mind. If I'll eat grass, I'll be beaten. If I'll eat grass, I'll be beaten. And that's the only mantra he was chanting from the forest to the palace. And so whatever he has eaten for whatever days, the whole thing was taken away, because one day, full fast, nirjala, He reached that palace and the king said, well, is it the same goat? He said, don't bother. He said, any goat. Goats come, You just feed, just try. And as usual, the king just take a bunch of whatever it is, grass, and just offer. And the minister just saw the stick from far distance. Not even beating. From far distance. Like this, just wave a little bit. And the goat just ran 5 meters on the back. And the king said, my God, how much did you fed that goat? He's just only seeing the food, he was running away. He said, yeah, I fed the goat like nothing. But the king was curious about it. He said, what did you do? I got to know about it. So that was the point. The point was, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj elaborate upon that and give the catching point of it. He says, the mind is just like a goat. The more you give, the more demand. The more you give, the more its demand. So sadhak, the sadhak, the one who really wanted to make spiritual progress, what they got to do when they get up in the morning? You got to, with what? You got to beat the mind with the shoes 100 times. Please don't do it physically when you go. Let's listen to it first. What you got to do, you got to train the mind. Because the mind is chanchalahi mana krishna pramadi balavadriham tasyaham nigraham manye vayuriva sudushkram. That's a logic, that's a tark which Arjuna put in front. He say, for me, it's easy to control over the wind, the blowing wind. I'm sure it's just out of question for us to think about it. But Arjuna was a warrior. He was a very powerful personality. He said, I'm able to control the wind, but to control the mind is just out of question. No question. Krishna forget about it. And Krishna agree. He said, yes, I agree with you. The next verse would follow. He said, but by suitable practice and detachment. Many at a time when we chant our 16 round for a week, for a month, or some years, the taste is it getting like, better or getting little like bitter? When we think about the chanting 16 round, Chalo Guru, spiritual masters given initiation what to do, just pulling the cope, just chanting with distaste. That's one of the reasons we fall asleep. That's one of the reasons we fall asleep. Have you ever, having your plate of prasad in front of you and fall asleep? No? You can't. It's so tasty. All the senses become so strong. Even though you have pain in your back, it doesn't matter. Well, we got to sit down because it's something very tasty. Unless until the sadhaka doesn't taste the sweetness of the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, they would not be able to live the taste, which is so called, what is explained over here? That living those days, which is basically a distraction in the journey of Krishna conscious. So how do we do this now? How do we increase the taste? Anyone would like to speak out? I'm sure. How do we increase the taste? We got 10 minutes to go.
Those who have taste in Holy and we associate them, we can
Very nice. We got to associate with those person who has got little taste for chanting. We got to find out this devotee. We need to find out this Rasika Bhakta. When they chant, they sit down in one place, they make the asan, siddha asan. They don't move. 16 round, one go, boom. You sit down next to him and you chant your round. You know, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati used to give the example. And Prabhupada used to quote that often. He said, just like on a highway, on where? On a highway, a loaded truck, you know, with this carrying so many stuff. But a truck doesn't move so fast. On a highway, it goes like 20, 30 kilometers per hour. You would find a cycle wala, the one who is riding a cycle, he would come and hold on the backside and then being carried away without any effort. When we look for those devotees who has got a taste for chanting, and especially they indulge in no prajalpa, and moreover, that sadhaka who doesn't hate or have any jealousy within the heart. Find that devotee and sit down next to him or her. And then what we got to do? We got to chant. By the influence of the chanting, because when you chant, there's certain aura. An influence there. When you sit down there, you would feel yourself so charged. And this is how we go. This is how we develop our taste. It's obvious many technique. You read some verses which has to do with chanting. You know, Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti Ityadi Ityadi. You know, that's fine. But more importantly, it associates with that devotee. Because in order to advance in Krishna consciousness, there's three kinds of strength, bal. There's three kinds of strength or shakti. The three type of shakti is Vaishnava, Vaishnava Padadhuli, Vaishnava Padajal, Vaishnava Uchishtha, Etino Mahabal. Have you heard about this? It is not a joke. The dust of the lotus feet of the Vaishnava, right? And the water which has washed away the lotus feet of the Vaishnava, sprinkle. That example is Krishna himself when he received whom? Sudama. He received Sudama, Brahmana. And he told all the queens, if you want perfection in your life, what you got to do? Just sprinkle the water on your head. Because Samasta Tirtha reside in this place. Even the Vaishnava purified the place of pilgrimage. Mother Ganges was very, very unhappy. He said, Krishna, which kind of job you have given me? I'm just taking sin of the sinner. There's one beautiful song which has been, you know, Ram Teri Ganga Maili Hogi. You heard about this? Papiyon ka paap dhoti dhoti. My sweet Lord, your water, the Ganges, has become polluted, just washing away all the sinful, you know, as a sin of the sinful person. Then Ganga raised a voice and said, but who would purify me? What will happen to me? What is my destination? And Krishna said, don't worry. When my Rasika Bhakta will come, who? My Rasika Bhakta, who has no jealousy in the heart, who relished the name. It's not when they chant the 16 round and then you just make a note in your chanting bead and then you throw it away. Wow, 16 round over. Tomorrow we'll see now. The Rasika Bhakta, when they finish the 16th round, they feel like chanting 17th round. That's the Rasika Bhakta. So when that Bhakta will come and bathe in you, what will happen? Will wash away all the sin, not only a few days or few weeks, all the sin that has been accumulated. That's the power of the Vaishnava. So the pretender, why do we pretend? There's many factors. What's the reason we pretend? We pretend because I wanted to follow the way you do. I want to follow the way you do. You're doing nice chanting, but I can't do. I'm trying to pretend. Pretending. Isn't it? We wanted to show somebody else I'm better than. We pretend. But we can't cheat Krishna. What we can't do? We can't cheat Krishna. So Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, he said, well, what's the reason that you cheat people? Because they want to bluff some sophisticated followers. What they want to do? They want to bluff. They want to get cheap adoration. Right? That's why they preach. They are very intellectual. They are very intellectual, but they have no connection whatsoever with the parampara system. They will speak about what Krishna says in the Bhagavad-Gita, and they would take Krishna and put Krishna aside, and they would just sit in his place. Am I right? So Prabhupada mentioned in the purport. Now we reflect upon that. On the other hand, if a sincere person try to control the active senses by the mind and begin karma yoga and Krishna consciousness without attachment, he is far superior. When we reflect upon that sloka, is 9th chapter, text number 27 and 28, that's what it says. Yat karosi, yad asnasi, yad johosi, dadati yat tapasyasi, konteya tat kurusva madarpanam. It looked like Krishna has become a beggar. Whatever you eat, you give it to me. Whatever you have, just offer it to me. Yeah? Krishna has become a beggar. He's saying no. Yeah, the verse says this. But Krishna is so wonderful. As I said again, Krishna loves us more than us. Krishna, because we don't even know what is beneficiary for us. Am I right? We don't even know what is beneficiary. Sometimes we do so many sinful activities, ugra karma, just, yeah, should it be knowingly or unknowingly? But Krishna knows. And Krishna is making things very clearer. He said, Arjuna, if you do it in this way, what will happen? I'll free you from the auspicious and inauspicious result. You will not even take birth in this material world. What to talk about something else? That's Krishna. In order to enjoy our fruit, we got to have a body. Without the body, you can't enjoy. So then, in order to enjoy whatever activities that we perform, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So then the action would be performed, should it be pious activities or impious activities, sinful activities, or whatever activities you perform, there is a certain reaction that is awaiting. In order to enjoy or suffer, you got to have a body. So Krishna says, if you do it for me, in Krishna conscious, what will happen? I'll free you from the auspicious and inauspicious result. Then you need to come back again. Coming in this material world, having a body, it's the root cause of everything. It's the root cause of? What is the root cause of everything? Having this material body. That's the root cause of everything. Yes. We need to work out. We need to work out very hard that we don't get a body anymore. Yeah. Whatever desire you have, you get a body. You desire to eat flesh, you get a body of a tiger. Isn't it? Krishna bhule jiva bhogavancha kari. No, that's a sloka. But again, body. 8 million. Krishna is so merciful. Not only one body, not 10, not 1,000. 8,400,000. He said, come on, whatever desire you have, just go and accomplish. But instead of becoming a pseudo-transcendentalist for the sake of wantons living in sense enjoyment, it is far better to remain in one's own business and execute the purpose of life. Each individual has got a duty. Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita, Chatur Varnyam Maya Shristam Guna Karma Vibhagasaha. Each devotee has certain inclination. You will find some devotee naturally they have certain things like they would keep on singing, nice vocal. They sing very nicely. They play some instrument very nicely. Guna karma vibhagasaha. Each individual need to dig out and find out what is my interest, what is my like and dislike in Krishna consciousness. And this is how when we engage in Krishna consciousness, we engage wholeheartedly. Like when I joined Krishna consciousness, someone just put me in book distribution. I don't even know ABCD of. They didn't even tell me the mantra. You hold a book, you tell someone, give a donation and whatsoever. I didn't know. Some book, what you got to do, distribute. I start distributing without asking money. 2, 3, 4, 5 books gone, and then the whole books were just gone out. He said, Prabhu, you finished? I said, yeah. It's so easy. He said, what did you do? I said, just give it out. But this is what I was told. He said, come on, what are you doing? No, you can't do that. I said, then what I should do? You should teach me. I said, Prabhu, this is, you got to distribute, you got to tell them about the importance of the book, and then get some donation. I said, okay. So I started first day in Krishna consciousness. It was December, 2nd December, 1989. My God, got a book, and I got to tell someone about the book. But what happened, when I look on the back, I saw the other friend is distributing like nothing. First, when I started distributing, I finished the whole thing in one slot. And then I look at them, they're distributing and so nicely. I say, well, how do I do that now? But then I start crying. I say, well, if I'm not able to do it, what would they say? So in the mood of crying, begging, I say, I don't know what is prayers. I don't know what this devotee, what the mantra they're saying. But please, Krishna, just help me out. I'm just a beginner. And in this way, the crying mood, I start distributing. What I normally tell the people, I say, well, this is a spiritual master, our founder Acharya has written, so nice book, and that is beneficiary for you. Oh. And amazing. People say, oh, really? Let me have a look. They open, they read the content, and they say, well, that's a nice book. And the book is just gone. Like nothing. So the bottom line, what I mean to say, that when we execute our Krishna consciousness, when we pursue, we need to know what is our like and dislike. It's very important. All the services are service. You take a cook from whatever services the cook are doing and put the cook in 24-hour kirtan. Oh my God, what will happen? And take the 24-hour kirtan, be devotee, and put it in the kitchen. So then, that's why Prabhupada is mentioning it. So each individual, Chatur Vanyam Maya Shristam Guna Karma Vibhagasa. We need to see where is our interest. My interest is in singing, my interest is in stitching, my interest is making prasad, my interest is in preaching, my interest is doing sankirtan, my interest is sweeping the floor, whatever my interests are, I must engage in that. And we would do that service wholeheartedly. And while doing this service, what will happen? We'll derive joy. Once what happened, I'll just finish, I'm sure. Time is over. Just 1-2 minutes more, with the permission. So Swami Prabhupada, in the early days, there was many Americans and Europeans used to join. And among them, there was a scientist. And as usual, I don't know about you, when I joined, they used to put me in the toilet. Prabhu, you got to clean the toilet. I said, come on. I never did that in my life. I'm a civil engineer by profession. What are you talking about? I didn't say, it's just within my mind. So is it the last day of my Krishna conscious? So then I says, okay, fine. So then similar thing happened. Prabhupada sent that devotee in the kitchen with a big pot to wash. And it so happened the friend of that scientist came to see that friend. And then they were asking, Mr. whatever it is, He said, well, direct them. He said, well, in the kitchen. And when they reached the kitchen, they find the friend who was a scientist. He was washing the big pot. And they got just like, bug. He said, what is this happening? They didn't tell that scientist who was washing. They went straight and fortunate or unfortunate, Prabhupada was there. And they was just like, showering like, Swamiji, you know what? And so she said, yes, tell me what? He said, how could you do so? What? The friend is a scientist and washing the dish. And Swami Prabhupada was just listening. And then Swami Prabhupada says, if you go on washing that dish, go on rubbing, and he make a hole within that pot, and through that hole, he will go back home, back to Godhead. Haribo. Obviously, Cheto Darpana Marjana, like Prabhuji was mentioning, when we get in the service, we cleanse our heart. So, would like to stop over here. Any question? Or any comment, a word of wisdom, anyone wanted to add up in this? The most welcome. Sorry, I just drove from Delhi and I reached here 20 minutes before. So just time to take a quick shower and just come and sit to give a Bhagavad-Gita class. Yes. Yes.
Try to cut our mind, but naturally our mind, is thinking about the things. So it's related to this. These things I say.
This slok has any relationship with what you said? Yes, has a relationship. It does have. If any sadhaka wanted to have a full control upon the mind, it is not by personal endeavor. Because the mind, since time immemorial, the mind is being trained not to be Krishna conscious. Am I right? Most of the time. So now a few years that we joined the Krishna consciousness, it is just very difficult. I mean, I'm not so sure about you people. You're living in Vrindavans, and Vrindavan is the holy dham. I'm sure you must achieve certain perfection while chanting the prescribed round. But me, when I start chanting my round, the first, second, third, fourth round, it's just like, going on the air, like flash. It doesn't make sense. It takes like a 4, 5, 6 round in order to get into the chanting. So what happened, there was a very beautiful illustration has been given. There's someone drew a line on the board with a chalk. They draw a line somewhere around 12 inch. And the teacher said, well, can someone, without rubbing that line, make it shorter? Oh, how do we do that? If someone draw a line without rubbing it, how can it make it shorter? Oh yes. Drawing a longer line next to it. If we really want to control over the mind, you got to have someone to whom you trust upon, you have faith upon, and that person is a Shastra Chakshu. He is well versed in the scripture. And again, which I keep on repeating, he has no envy in the heart. What you do, just put yourself under his guidance. He said, Prabhuji, just guide me, that's it. This is how we would be able to do that. And you're answerable for each and everything. Even if you think about some beautiful woman or some beautiful man, whatever it is. Prabhu, today my mind was like this. Because if you go to a doctor, you reveal to a doctor what is happening with you, the doctor will be able to. And this is where we fail. When we do some mistake, we don't reveal. Oh, what the devotee will think about me. We don't reveal. And that's the most important factor. You know, the Goswami says, you know, got to reveal your mind in confidence. Isn't it? Offer prasad in exchange of prasad. Some gift need to be exchanged. Early days it was like this. Not now. I'll give you one small incident. In Delhi, so I was just sitting and having prasad, but unfortunately there was no plate. I sat down. There was a plate, empty plate on my side, and it so happened it was for that devotee who was serving prasad. So he came and asked me, Prabhu, you don't have plate? I said, no, I don't have plate. You know, surprisingly, he picked up his plate and hid it in the back. He said, okay, we'll come back. I said, come on. But early days was different. If someone is having a plate of prasad, this 5 devotee will just jump onto it, and 5 devotee will just put their hand and eating together. That was the love. There was no shoodbhakti.com, oh Prabhu, I'll go to hell. Oh, you're eating my remnant. No, there was nothing as such. There was nothing as such. In this world, there's only 2 things that people are looking for. We are looking for someone who can love me, and I'm looking for someone to whom I can offer my love. There's nothing third, तीसरा चीज तो है ही नहीं. Prabhupada has started this movement with this purpose. But unfortunately, we are preaching personalism in an impersonal way. We are preaching personalism in an impersonal way. It's a very awkward situation. Very awkward situation. If why Prabhupada has to say something like this? He said, your love will be shown. Your love will be shown for, you know, your love for me. Why he find important? Why there was so much importance? He could have talks about, you know, rasa, you know, some rasa tattva. He said, unless and until we don't have love for each other, we don't cooperate with each other, what to talk about doing something? No way. So we got to put ourselves under the guidance of someone. Yeah? Any other question? Please. I'm sorry, Prabhu.
Sorry, at all times we may not be in a place where we can go to temple early morning, chanting, which is our social devoting. We may have to alone. When there is no temple nearby, what do you do?
If I understood correctly, you're left alone somewhere due to circumstances, you are not being able to go to the temple, there's no devotee lives around you, and then what do you do in these circumstances? Yeah? You're alone. But keep it in mind, there's five limbs of devotion. Out of 64, whatever limbs, there's 5 which is main. Out of these 5, there's one which is topmost. There's 5. You have Dhamvas, you have Bhagavad Shravan, you have Nam Sankirtan, you have Archa Vigraha Seva, and then you have Sadhu Sangha. If the Sadhu Sangha remains strong and the rest is getting damadol, mean dwindling, not so focused, but because of the association of the devotee, all the 4 will fall into line. So what I mean to say, devotee association is important. Now, as you said, what do we do in this? Well, In this given situation, then we can use as a technology that we have. When you don't find any devotee around, then when you use technology, then we write a mail, we write a text, we send a WhatsApp on a regular basis to whomever you have faith on. And that devotee is waiting for you. So today he didn't send me what he's going through. And when you do that, that devotee, because devotee are para dukha dukhi, am I right? If a devotee is seeing someone suffering, and that devotee feels joy, that means he is not a devotee. But unfortunately, most of the time you find like this. Oh, it's only hand broken, that leg should have broken. But that's not a devotee. A devotee, on whatever circumstances, they don't curse anyone. A devotee, when they have a personal insult, they just tolerate it. Am I right? When personal insult involved, we become Trinadapi, Sunichena, Tarorapi, Sahisnuna, Amanina, Manadena, Kirtanya Sadahari. So you could use that technology. I mean, that's a possible answer you could think about. But devotee association is required. Without devotee association, there's no question. That's why, when we reflect upon that verse, he says, when we offend Krishna while serving, someone who's the cook for Krishna with no salt, the cook for Krishna with no sugar, whatever, or cook for Krishna with a lusty desire, cook for Krishna, whatever, some seva aprad. No? How does the Vaishnava bhajan goes? Yeah. Tumhasthane aparade tare harina. Something like that. And hariyasthane aparade tare harinam. Tumhasthane aparade nahi paritran. If we commit some offenses, some seva aprad, whatever aprad, we can get rid of it while Harinam, while chanting the holy name of the Lord. But if we offend the devotee, then there's no solution for it. There's no mean and ways you can get rid of it. Nahit paritran. You can't free yourself. Durvasa Muni, think about Durvasa Muni, such a big personality. Could he do something? He had the power to go all over even the spiritual world. He went to see Vishnu. Say, Vishnu, you know what? He said, what? It's your Sudarshan Chakra chasing me. Oh, then why? Please, He said, I can't do anything. But it's your Sudarshan Chakra. He said, basically, I sold myself to the devotee. What I have done? I have sold myself to the devotee. When I see my devotee become so helpless, they don't even fight back. They don't even do anything for themselves. Like Haridas Thakur, I have come. And what do? I'll just take all the beating on my back. When a devotee is surrendered to Krishna, same person, Krishna becomes the servant of that devotee. Become the servant. So coming back to, association is very important. Prabhupada has created this organization just for association. Nothing else. At the time of chanting, we don't get association. Now there's many technology. Prabhupada tapes are there. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Just put Prabhupada in it. Put Tulsi there. You record your own voice. I've done it. I got a shock. I said, my God, I'm missing Ram. I miss Ram all the time. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, not Ram, 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 Ram. Ram, Ravan, Ravan, Ram, 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 Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Ram. I recorded, I got a shock. I said, my God, what am I doing? If we have a simple heart, we can attract Krishna. If we have a heart with duplicity, forget about it. Simple heart. Try to be simple. Any other question? Mataji's, some question? No? So, we stop there. Thank you so much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad-Gita ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki. Paritapavan Srila Prabhupada ki.